Hello and welcome to this short training session. Today's session is entitled What's New in Sage CRM 2018 R1, a technical deep dive. My name is Jeff Richards and I'm the head of training program development for Sage CRM. I work within the development team in Dublin and I'm responsible for the creation of training resources that cover the programming interfaces, customization capabilities and technical features of Sage CRM. The new release has to be put into the context of the product strategy for Sage CRM and how it relates to Sage Business Management Solutions. The strategy is to strengthen the proposition of Sage Business Management Solutions through integrated CRM. This means that the sales, marketing and service features provided by Sage CRM are targeted at prospective and existing Sage customers who are looking for better ways to manage and grow their businesses and who need enhanced visibility of business data so that they can make informed decisions based on accurate information from across the business, both front and back office. The integration focus is explicit and guides everything that the product management and development teams are doing. The intention is to make integrated Sage CRM an ideal solution for both existing Sage BMS customers or new Sage BMS customers looking for an easy-to-use, fully featured CRM application available with out-of-the-box integration to their existing Sage solution. But let's get back to what we're going to discuss today. This intended audience for this technical deep dive are Sage colleagues and partners who provide technical support for integrated Sage CRM. We want you to feel confident that you understand the changes to the product and how these may impact any existing implementations of the product and what consequence that will have on the support that you offer our customers. So let's have a look at some of the changes to the product. There have been calendar improvements, some enhancements around the MailChimp integration. The menu and interface has offered some new features. Quotes and orders usability have been improved. We've seen optimization of metadata in this release. Exchange integration has seen some improvements along with security enhancements. And these changes, along with more customer issues being addressed, means that Sage CRM continues to provide a better customer experience with each release. And it's worth discussing just one of these areas that have seen considerable changes recently. If you think back to when Sage CRM 2017 R1 was released, and so that's a whole release ago, that it introduced an entirely new way of drawing and controlling the calendar. Back when that was released, that's 2017 was released, not all the existing calendar features could be implemented, and so the changes continued in 2017 R2. And the Sage CRM 2017 R3 was essentially a maintenance release with few enhancements related to the calendar. So it's important to understand that there have been further enhancements made to the calendar in Sage CRM 2018 R1. So what are those enhancements in 2018 R1? Well, we've seen some improved performance within the calendar, the way in which the data is returned and displayed. There's been a simplified approach introduced to the assignment of icons to custom actions. We've added a tooltip on appointments in the day view. We've changed the appointment date and time by drag and drop. So we've got drag and drop features within the calendar again. We can now view team members who are added to a task or an appointment, and we can add tasks much more quickly into the interface as well. And again, within the drag and drop features, because of the new way in which the calendar is drawn and created, we can also now, through drag and drop, extend or reduce appointment duration by drag and drop. And we can also create new tasks with attachments just by dropping tasks into the calendar as well. So let's have a look at some of these. So you've got this idea that we can imagine our our calendar here, and you can see there's the idea of the complete task. Well, we can click the pending icon to cause the task to be set to complete, and there really is no other action required. The task will just be quickly changed. Another change that has happened is that we have introduced the idea that system administrators can assign icons to custom actions very easily. You just need to create a GIF file with the same name as the custom action code and place it into the relevant folder. And so any custom communication action appointments or tasks will display the new icon on the screen. Another change that has taken place is this within this drag and drop functionality. So we've got the idea of a feature that used to appear within Sage CRM 7.3 that was lost when the new calendar was introduced in 2017 R1. This has now been restored, so you've got full drag and drop into new appointment times. You can see there where the appointment is being changed from an 8 o'clock appointment to a 9:30 appointment, and this works on the day, week, work week and month views. Another thing that has also been introduced is that we can start to change the appointment duration by drag and drop. This is a new feature, and users can extend or reduce the appointment duration just by dragging and dropping the upper or lower end of the appointment rectangle. And this is something that's available on the day, work week and week views of the calendar. And you just need to change the new start and end times just by dragging, and you'll see that they are displayed as you work. Something else that has changed is that when a user clicks an appointment within the day view, a tooltip showing the appointment summary opens up. Another change that has taken place is within the team view of the calendar. So the agenda and tasks views within the Team CRM calendar now include a new user column that shows the users that have been added to the user option in tasks and appointments. And the appointment is listed in the agenda and task view as many times as there are users in the users option. Another important change that has been introduced within the calendar is that we can see that we're able to create quick tasks with documents attached. And users can do this by dragging and dropping files to the Drop Files Here area in the Tasks view of My CRM and Team CRM calendars to create tasks with attachments. Alternatively, users can actually click the Drop Files Here to browse for and select the files that they want to attach the new tasks. Also, we can see that there have been changes to the way in which filtering works. By default, you can see that we have filtering by pending, both for the agenda and tasks. If you change this filter to something else, then the filters are retained for the duration of the user session. And all of these tasks that we've discussed, all these changes that we've discussed around the calendar, has to be put into the perspective as well of the performance being much improved, the way in which the retrieval of data and caching of that data for the calendar has been optimized in 2018 R1. We can now move on to thinking about the integration with MailChimp and how that's improved. And Sage CRM does offer a very neat integration with MailChimp. Within an integrated system, contacts that were originally brought into Sage CRM from a Sage Business Management solution, such as Sage 200 or Sage 300, can in turn be included in a group that can be exported to a MailChimp list. These contacts become MailChimp subscribers within a static segment. This static segment can then be used for the creation of a campaign. By starting the campaign definition from within Sage CRM, we're able to have the responses and interaction with the mail shot synced back into Sage CRM. And all this has been discussed in other training sessions that cover the integration. So let's look at specifically the changes that have taken place in 2018 R1. What we can see is that we've enhanced the way in which email addresses are sent across from Sage CRM to MailChimp. So there's now automatic verification of email address format, so making sure that they're valid for MailChimp groups. And we can see as well that there's an automatic check for duplicate email addresses within a group that is being sent to MailChimp. So instead of just a blanket error, you'll see that alerts are being generated to warn you that it can't be sent across until the data is corrected. And any of this interaction that might be logged because of an error, you'll find that it's much more easily accessible within the standard administration screens. If you go to Administration, System, and then look at Logging, you'll see there is a way in which we can get to the standard MailChimp logs. This is improving the customer experience all the way through, and there are other important user experience improvements. Each Sage CRM release aims to create an even better experience for our customers, with features designed to help growing businesses work smarter and faster. Sage CRM 2018 R1 offers enhancements to allow greater control of the interface by each user, and this is designed to help those users to become more productive and to be able to access all of the information they need quickly and easily. An example of this within 2018 R1 is how a user is now able to move infrequently used tabs into a More option. So you've got the choice of either suppressing a tab or moving it into the More option. And this is a per user configuration, and it will work within the My CRM menu or in the company menu, etc. around the system. Another change that improves the experience of using the system is in around the quotes and orders screen. So there is now no screen scrolling required to enter new line items. So you can see that once you're entering a new line item, the screen appears where it needs to be, and all items in a drop-down list remain visible, even if the list doesn't fit into the browser window. And all merge fields as well in Word templates are now populated correctly. So they're now brought across in the way that you want them to bring them across. So these are important changes, and something where you also see an important improvement and enhancement is a consistency approach, so that now if a user has changed the 1000 separator within the user preferences area, this will be consistently applied throughout the system. 1000 separators now are fully applied to all numeric fields. There are changes that are visible and there are changes that are invisible. These are all things that a user may notice and see that benefit from, but there are other changes that are really behind the scenes and the user won't necessarily see. So there are some invisible changes that benefit users even though they won't see them themselves. There are some 50 plus issues that have been addressed in Sage 2018 R1. You can just see some of these, and obviously we've talked about some of those as well, that we've got now enhancements in the way in which Word templates are populated correctly with merge fields. And you can see that for example, one invisible change is that Sage CRM now installs Apache Tomcat version 7082. So you can see that there are important changes, and another change that has taken place is around the metadata refresh optimization. Refresh has been optimized so that manual and automatic metadata refreshes are as efficient as possible. And there's also been an improvement in the way in which memory is managed within the application. And both are these memory management aspects and the manual and automatic metadata refreshes and their optimization are particularly important to larger customers which are dealing with multi-CRM implementations. Importantly, we've added support for iOS 11 to our mobile solution and Mac OS High Sierra, and we've also added support for MS SQL MS SQL Server Express in a production environment, and that's for the 64-bit version. This support for SQL Server Express is very important. So Sage CRM 2018 R1 will operate on SQL Server 2014 Express 64 edition, which is bundled with the release. There are some very important restrictions to using SQL Server Express, but colleagues and partners already working with Sage BMS systems will be familiar with these, as products such as Sage 300 are already supported in a production environment on MS SQL Server Express. The limitations of SQL Express include a 10 gig maximum Sage CRM database size or a 1 gig maximum memory availability. And in addition, Sage recommends that SQL Server Express is not used for Sage CRM systems with more than 5 users. Of course, if customers choose to use SQL Server Express in a production environment, Sage support will address only application-related issues that can be replicated in an SQL Server Standard or Enterprise Edition environment listed in the Sage CRM Compatibility Guide for the relevant release. And all customers who are then using SQL Server Express will be entirely responsible for backing up their Sage CRM database themselves, and there are instructions on how to do that. There are other important changes. For example, within the Exchange integration, now Sage CRM doesn't create temporary duplicate appointment entries during the synchronization with Exchange Server. And there's also been an improvement around security, which prevents connections to the same session from different computers. But let's think about the upgrade path. The upgrade path is clear, and customers are supported in their upgrades from Sage CRM 7.3 and any of the service packs and any of the releases of Sage CRM 2017. Now, in terms of support, what does this mean? Well, we know that 2018 R1 has been released. It was released at the end of November, and 2018 R2 will be released at the end of March, with 2018 R3 on target to be released at the end of July. And just in terms of the March release for 18 R2, we know that development is already going on for that. Now, at this point, the current versions of Sage CRM will be, so come the end of July, the current versions of Sage CRM will be 2018 R1, 2018 R2, and 2018 R3, and the previous versions of Sage CRM will be 2017 R1, 2017 R2, and 2017 R3. And that means that the support for Sage CRM 7.3, including all of the service packs, SP1, SP2, SP3, will cease at the end of September 2018. So you just need to factor that in from a support perspective. Now, what does it mean when it comes to the actual view of the update and upgrade? So what's the impact that this is likely to have? Now, Sage CRM 2018 R1 may have an impact on existing components, add-ons, and different techniques used to extend Sage CRM. So that may affect aspects of the database and the data model, any of the custom code or API usage that you've made, as well as the metadata within the system. Consequently, when you are advising partners during their process for upgrade, what are the customization areas that will need to be reviewed? Well, they're going to need to check what work is required to ensure that components, these are the thinking here for developer partners who are creating components that need to be dropped in to Sage CRM 2018, that whatever used to work for Sage CRM 2017 will still install correctly in this new release of Sage CRM 2018 R1. We also need to understand what changes may need to be made to enable any custom add-ons, customizations, and extensions. And those are the SP pages, .NET assemblies, and web services code that used to work with Sage CRM 2017 will continue to work with Sage CRM 2018 R1 when a system is upgraded. So we've got to think about then typical questions that we can ask. What changes in supported environments will affect those customizations? How has installation and upgrading changed? How will changes to the user interface and default theme affect those components? And will there be a clash between new tables and fields in your customizations? And will change to the MailChimp integration create its own issues? So what are the resources and documentations available to support this release? I need to remind you that all of the release notes, the guides and the online help can be found on the Help Center. So that's help.sagecrm.com. And this should be the first place that you look for help around the features and supported environments for all of the supported versions of Sage CRM. And the documentation has changed to support these features that have been added to enhance the user experience. So if we look at some of those changes, that the user guide and online help have been updated to explain how a user can save screen space by moving horizontal tabs to the More drop-down list, how a user can change the appointment date, time and duration using drag and drop within the calendar, how to quickly change the status of a task to complete. This is the new single-click action, and how to quickly create tasks with attachments, and this is a great productivity enhancement, of course. The system administration guide has also been updated. There's a new mapping component that will be released onto the community eventually. This has been completely revised and will be reflected in the update on how to install and configure the new mapping component. There'll be blog articles that discuss that. There is some additional documentation around how Sage CRM is secured from connections to the same Sage CRM session from different computers, and some changes have been made to explain the improvements in the ease of assigning icons to custom actions in the calendar. And the steps have changed as compared with 2017 R3. It's important to understand that all of the APIs are kept under review with enhancements being made when necessary, and the COM API has seen additional capabilities added to it to enhance security, and so the documentation has seen some new parameters added to the form and query string methods, and these methods allow you to filter the values to be returned. In addition to the updates in documentation, we will see supporting blog articles published on the community to provide further examples of usage. So you need to also make sure that you share the links to the support and training YouTube channel. The link shown here on the screen will take you to the Sage CRM Getting Started and Overview videos. We've updated the Working with Groups video on the YouTube channel, and when the software is made available, all of the release notes and the documentation will be published immediately on the Help Center. So that's there now. There are additional resources being added to the community to support the release and to help colleagues help customers get the most out of integrated CRM. And some of those have been the release of updated components that demonstrate different customization techniques in Sage CRM 2018 R1. There are implementations of Sage CRM all over the world, and to help partners fast-track their implementations and to demonstrate the possibilities of Sage CRM, we've made available some demo language packs, and these are partial translations of the user interface for Turkish, Portuguese, Dutch, Italian, and simplified Chinese. And to support the sales efforts and implementation consultancy for the sales, marketing and customer service modules, we've updated a set of components to provide quick setup and configuration, things that suppress from the interface some options not typically needed in the first phase of an implementation, and this creates a simpler experience for customers and partners. We've provided an updated demo client-side code library that showcases the ease of use for the powerful client-side API. There's also a demo date shifter that allows demo data used in systems to stay fresh, and a useful set of saved searches and group definitions that extend the demonstration options. And lastly, to help prepare partners for upgrading customers, we have spreadsheets that explain the key metadata and database changes made in Sage CRM 2018 and a set of SQL scripts that can be used to investigate the differences between the systems. It's important that you do take advantage of the community.sagecrm.com, and we've discussed just some of the online and recorded training and help and user assistance available to you on that community. That just wraps up everything that I wanted to say about the materials that we're creating to support the release of Sage CRM 2018 R1. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.